Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf coming at you with another video. Alright, so just trying to figure out, do I want to go the long way because my body could use the exercise? Headed to Hollywood, I got plenty of time. It's only 11:30. And I looked up and I said, nah, I probably should stay local, man. Rain clouds right there. I got every incentive to not deal with those rain clouds. So yeah, I feel pretty good, man. These last couple of days have been pretty good. I think we last did a therapy session on my way to my friend's house. Had a good time over there, chilling with the fellas. My boy Farai has this push-up thing that you put on the floor, and you can kind of position the handles to kind of fit various different spots, so it could target your chest in different ways. And I use that thing at his house, man. See, the thing about me is I do push-ups, but I don't go all the way down. I do like half push-ups. From what I understand, they can build your chest up, but don't do enough for your back and shoulders and stuff like that. It doesn't get you the full range of motion. And you know, when you use something like that, it's gonna have you go all the way to the ground. He was showing me different reps, so I was moving the thing around and messing with it. It felt pretty good, but you know, it's one of those situations where your body ain't used to that. You're gonna feel some ridiculous soreness, and so that's what ended up happening. I ended up doing those at his house, and then coming home and feeling all that soreness the next day in my arms. But you know, it's a good thing. I used to have strong muscles in that way, so it's like, you know what, yesterday I spent a good majority of my day switching up my push-up regimen. Instead of getting the hundreds of reps in, I get up 170 at this point. I work my way up to. What I told myself is, we're just going to keep that going. My body's too, you know, sore to actually do the push-ups 170 times, like 5 or 6 times a day, whatever it is. So what I'm going to do is start the process of training myself to go all the way down. So that's what I did yesterday. I call them deep 20s, because it's really all my body can do all the way down. Especially with the soreness. You know, I never really even trained myself to go all the way down. It was as a result, you know, it's just not a whole lot of strength there. But as I tell myself, when you start anything, it doesn't require a lot to get you sore or to injure you. And then from there, once you see the definition come in, you could just start to increase from there. Deep 20s turn into deep 25s. Deep 25s can push all the way up to where I am with the halves. So it's like, that's what I've begun. Yesterday was the first day of deep 20s. I pretty much abandoned my 170 at this point for opportunities to get the deeps in. So I meditated on it. I feel like that's the right way for me to go. And my chest is absolutely sore. My arms are absolutely sore. I have not been this sore in over 2 years. Like literally, I am barely moving. And the thing about it was, because I did everything that I did at Farai's house, going deep was areas that were already sore. And as a result, it wasn't as much being done because of it. So it's like, I may have did like 4 sets yesterday. I did 1 set of 170 this morning, but like, I'm telling you, that was painful just in general, because that muscle ain't grew in. So yeah, man, I'm definitely loving what I'm seeing as it pertains to, you know, switching my diet, and then from there kind of switching up my workouts too. I feel pain in different areas and stuff like that. So this is what happens when you really want to get in shape. You don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again, not having no soreness, no resistance. You got to seek out the soreness by doing new things. And so that's what I've neglected to do. But I'm in a space where I'm ready to do new things as it pertains to my workouts. I'm ready to teach myself how to do actual push-ups and build my chest up from where it is. And so yeah, man, this was a very sore night, very sore morning. And that is really how it's gone. I did a playlist yesterday, didn't love it. It required a lot of editing, so I didn't listen to the finished product. I listened to it prior to the editing and had to get rid of like 5 or 6 songs. Not a lot of good music provided. I took some chances with it. The K-List 407, I believe that was. Not my greatest work. Not my greatest work. There are some songs on there I like a lot, but I would say that's probably the weakest playlist I made in a while. But you know, that's what it was. And I hope other people enjoy it. I had a good time with it. I was listening to it and did my art, and I say the art was improved this week. It wasn't great art, but it was sure better than the previous art that I complained about. So, you know what I mean? I've just been in a weird space where I haven't really loved some of what it is I've created. But just the same, I'm having fun doing it. And I did make some good pieces in that session. So just continue to do what it is that I do, and let the good stuff come when it comes. You know, a lot of times when you make your best stuff or your favorite stuff, you don't seek out to do so. You may not even be into it that much. It just, whatever you try work. And that's kind of the type of artist I am. Sometimes I'll feel so good about what I'm doing and be into it, and the art will be trash. Sometimes I'll just be listening to some content, working on just a random piece, and come up with the best stuff. So that's what it is for me. I'm not really seeking the perfection or nothing. I just want to continue the practice of pushing out as many pieces as I can in this life. So that's really what it is, man. My stomach's been better. Some of those issues I was having, the garlic really truly was the problem. It's weird how that works for me, but some of those issues that were just consistent really came from what I was eating consistently. So, you know, now that that's out of my life, what I've found doesn't quite taste as good, but at least it's digesting properly. I'll probably deviate from red meat this week. I'm not going to buy any tonight because, of course, I leave the room tomorrow, so I may not have a fridge for tomorrow night. So it wouldn't make any sense to buy some beef, but like just in general, I probably should stop eating that as much as I was. It's provided a lot of protein, for which I do think is putting on some of this soreness in this muscle. But just the same, it's not good for you at the end of the day. I know better. And when you overdo it with beef, you go down that path, it does kind of drain your energy. And I think some of that is what I'm dealing with, a little drained energy. But overall, I think I'm in a great space, man, as it pertains to just my overall spiritual, mental, and physical effort. I think is in a very good place. You know, I was saddened by some news yesterday. Of course, rest in peace to Angie Stone. I grew up on her music like a lot of people my age in my culture. So that was really tough news yesterday. You just hate to hear it. And I saw her final live, and she was so excited about different things going on in her life. And this is why I think it's just so important that we, you know, have it in our minds that God's plan over ours, His intentions over ours. We can have a million different things we're excited about. He could be ready to take us home right before all that gets done. So, you know, that's exactly what was going on there, unfortunately. And it's sad, but you know, she lived 60 plus years, accomplished a lot of great music, had children, and so she lived a good life. And my hope is that her passing was instantaneous, because from what I understand, it was a really bad wreck, So prayers out to those who were affected by her passing. And also I found that one of my Facebook friends has been diagnosed with cancer, the same cancer that my mother had that attacked her uterus. This young lady has had some issues that she's been telling us about on Instagram, and that was ultimately the diagnosis. So, you know, I was rather bummed about that. I've been following her online for probably over 10 years, you know what I mean? So I keep up with her a lot, and that's about the gist of it. I've never met her in person, talked to her DMs maybe once or twice, nothing too serious, but you know, she's on the prayer list and has been on that prayer list for 3-4 years, man. So hopefully the Lord would just continue to hear my prayers in regards to her and help her beat this thing. You know, I think that from what I read, you have a good, what's the mortality rate? You know, that's for the type of cancer she has. I think what it was is that my mom's had spread from there at that point. So, but she did have the hysterectomy. I don't know that this young lady will need that. I didn't ask, none of my business. But you know, it's tough because she does have 2 children that you know, that are in the adolescent stage. So it's really tough for them to have to go through this, and their family and everything. She just lost her uncle like 3 weeks ago. So yeah, that was some bum news, man. Sometimes It's not always the stuff that's going on in your own life that you're affected by. You're affected by what you see other people go through. And in this case, that's what it's been. These last, say, 24 hours, I've really been kind of in a solemn mood. Stayed in the house yesterday. My boy T, and I'm gonna tell y'all, gave me some wedding cake weed, just a little bit. I smoked it up. Didn't love the drag that came from it, but definitely loved the artistic space it put me in, and the meditative states it put me in. But it was only like 3 hits worth. I took it, enjoyed it, don't want to pick it back up. That's exactly what it is. The weed that I smoked reminded me of 2 things: the good that I like about the weed and the bad that I don't. And I'm just in a space right now where I really don't like the drag that comes with the mental, you know what I mean? And I smoked just enough of that to have that drag. But it was good just to be reminded what I also like about it. The meditation and all of that was really intense, and it felt good. Felt good to revisit it, but to leave it alone just the same. Hello. And so that's really what it is for me, man. I'm good. That was my one little weed hit for the year, pretty much. I don't have any intention of going back toward it at all. I really don't. I didn't dislike the high at all, but I hated the aftermath of being high, and that's really what I don't like anymore. I also don't like the black lip stuff and all of that. So I just think that's what it's for me. It's for that. You have a really sad day, you have an opportunity to be in the house, your body's sore, you have opportunity to do art, you don't have any responsibilities that you have to address that day. That's when you want to partake. That's when I think it's the closest clear to partake in something like that. That'll be the day you do. Leave it alone, come back to it next year, that kind of thing. Like, that's exactly how I want to handle marijuana, because otherwise it's a real problem for me. And I got enough problems, I really do. But for what it's worth, I still enjoy the feeling of being high when I have the ability to meditate, create, and ultimately when I don't have anything to do. So that's what it is, man. I'm not ashamed of that. I didn't purchase it. My boy just say, hey, I got some. And I was like, I probably shouldn't. And it's like, well, if I can find a setting from which it makes sense to partake, then it should be, no harm. And so that's how I looked at it, man. So it wasn't much. It wasn't even a joint worth, to be honest with you. But it certainly hit me hard since I ain't been smoking. But I'd say in a good way, man. I was productive. I devised the idea to do the different chest workouts with that mindset. I was deeper in my ab workouts, and I think that's what it does enhance, is my overall willingness to sit in physical pain. I think that's what weed really did for me when I was smoking regularly, is it would allow me, when it's time to work out, depending on what type of high I was on, I was usually working out with better form, enduring more pain, just overall suffering it out. And I think that's what I kind of experienced a little bit last night. About 2 hours removed from smoking, I was still in a space where it was affecting me, and then from there I was really getting into the different workouts that I do every night. So it did have some drag to it, as it pertains to you didn't really want to get out of bed. It was a little harder to convince myself to cook a meal, that kind of thing, last night. But at the end of the day, I got everything done. So I say that it served its purpose, and I'm glad at this point that I ran out, because my thinking was, let me finish up everything. I don't want this to be a situation where I smoke a little today and come back 3 days from now, smoke a little more. Nah, let's get all this out of my possession now, because when you have the type of things that I've dealt with in regards to weed, the last thing you need is to come down from a high and then to get right back on it. That starts to tumble forward the pattern of wanting to be high, and for me, that's just not where I'm at. So yeah, man, that's really what it is, man. I never claimed to be somebody who didn't ever want to smoke again. I just didn't feel like it would make any sense to smoke in this era. And to a point, I thought when I did smoke, it made sense for me. And that's the discipline that I'm hoping to continue to keep in my life going forward with everything that I do. And do it when it makes sense, not just do it to be doing it and then becoming a slave to it. So that was part of my meditation last night. We talked about that, me and the Lord, and I felt like he was giving me the thumbs up on all things considered. I've been doing a really good job and continue to with my spirit and keeping a positive mindset. And I think that's something that I can legitimately say was totally different this go around as it pertains to being high and the thoughts that go through my head. I'm just a much more positive person, much more stronger relationship with God. And it really showed last night in that meditation. You could see the difference. It's like, yeah, I'm high, but I'm also in a much clearer space of positivity. I'm also in a space where I can hear good things in my head as I'm high, which is not something that I think I experienced so often back when I was living in Lenox. It required me go through what I just went through, in my opinion, to be in a space where that relationship with God is as strong as it is, and positivity and the confidence is as strong as it is. That has been a space from which I've grown leaps and bounds over the past, say, year and a half. And not smoking any weed, I relate a lot of the vibes that I felt when high to negative thoughts and struggles and sin thoughts and all different that. And it's just not where I've been over the last several months. So that's really what it is, to know that I've come out of a lot of negative thoughts and a lot of negative thought practices, I guess is what you could say. It has really helped me understand that this is a different era in my life. You know what I mean? I'm in a different space. I'm wearing a different hat, so to speak, in regards to how I identify and what my spirit is ultimately about. I was stumbling around, teetering between good and evil, so to speak, when I was living in Lenox. I thought I was a good person, but I only believed God to a point. Would do certain things that I wanted him to do for me and stuff like that. Those days are just behind me, man. He proved himself with this North Hollywood era, and I don't see myself ever going back to be the same person again. I really don't. So that's what last night taught me. It's like, yeah, this feeling, this ain't received the same way, because I am a different person. I'm a better person, and I'm proud of where I'm at, and I'm thankful for the people that have helped me get to where I am. And so decision making is a big part of being proud of oneself, and I've made some good decisions, and I want to continue to make those. So that's what I'm asking the Lord help me with in the coming months of March and everything that's left for 2025, is to just make good decisions and be open to what it is he wants to do in my life. And so, yeah, that's what it is, man. Feels good to walk around a little bit. I'm glad I stayed local. Soreness is the name of the game here. I can feel so much soreness in my waist area, which is encouraging, because that's when you're going to get your V muscles and stuff like that. Been working on a lot of ab stuff, a lot of knees to chest, leaning back for 30 seconds, holding your abs. I've done a lot of ab work, and it is hopefully going to start kicking in. Hopefully I can start looking like myself again, and just teach my chest. That's the goal. Teach my chest how to actually form properly. Because for the duration of my life, I've always had a chest that was never strong at all, always flabby. And the one thing that was legitimately missing was proper push-ups. Proper all the way down, all the way ups. And I taught myself the halfway point, and I mastered that, and I've gotten to astronomical spaces with that. But at the end of the day, I can barely do full push-ups, and that is what I need to see myself evolve in regards to. So, yeah, man, this has been a peaceful walk. I'm sure there's more to talk about. The Lakers play the Clippers later on, so we're going to have videos for that. And I got Bible study at 4:30. Looking forward to that as well. And I move out of the room tomorrow. I just got to shoot my uncle a text and remind him that tomorrow's the day, although I think he may be on top of that. So, it's just been good, man. This room has been pretty good for me. in many ways. That's what I can say. I'm thankful that the Lord once again gave me another opportunity to have a contract with Studio Lodge for 3 weeks, and I pray that I was able to continue that process while we have what's ahead coming. But I'll tell you what came to me in prayer last night. The Lord said, I'm going to hand you your keys to your new place. That's exactly what I heard last night in prayer. It's clear as I'm speaking to you now. That is the sole message that pretty much came my way from God. Everything else was just me in a flotation device called a hive. But yeah, that was what came my way. I was very thankful for that. So, you know, I welcome that, and I ask that the Lord make that happen on His time. And hello. Hey. And that's really what it's about, man. Just making sure that you do things on God's time, and not necessarily when you want it done, or thinking you know what comes with what, but more so understanding that with a new place comes a new hat, a new journey, a new environment potentially, and more responsibilities for me to let my light shine. And so that's how I look at something like that. And I think that's how I want to continue to look at things like that. You can receive things in life and not see the attachment of other things that come with it. A lot of us say, oh, I'm going to be living in a mansion. Yeah, but you don't know what type of times you're going to have in that mansion. And so these are the type of things that I'm starting to try to work into my equation as the Lord blesses me with things and changes my environment. And, you know, there's good things that can come from things that maybe don't start very well. There are bad things that can come from things that look like blessings. That's why I say I just don't know what comes with what. And when I hear the Lord say He's going to give me a place, I'm thankful, because I know if it comes from God, it's going to come with grace. And there will be opportunities to make good decisions and feel great in whatever He's bringing you. But you just don't know what era He's ushering you into, you know? And that's really what it is. What's ahead? I know what's behind me. And I know I got good habits that I'm working on, and I'm aligned with God's timing. But just the same, I don't know what comes with what. And so that's why I'm hesitant to really be excited about anything in life these days. Whether it be extremely good, extremely bad, you just don't know what portals you're walking through. You don't know what doors you're actually opening. And so that's what I tell other people as well. We are careful what we wish for. You know what I mean? We want what we get to come with a great path and great doors from which to open from here. Great options that come from what it is that we got. I don't want just things. Things are fine, but what comes with those things is what I'm really focused on these days. So that's what I want to share with you guys. Let's welcome good things into our lives. Let's welcome more life in general. People are losing their lives, and you just got to take care of yourself to the best of your ability, and enjoy your time on earth while doing so. Don't forget to have a good time. And that balance, I think, will align us with the smallest amount of stress and the most amount of confidence. So that's what I'm telling all of y'all. Keep your confidence, keep your stress down, drink water, win battles, and know that you're enough. Know that you're worthy of good things. So keep holding on. Bdf 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.